Watch list Q4 in 2019 coming right up. Mr. Clicksflix is brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama, home of the ROC. No matter if you're in the United States or around the world, Lucky Dice Cafe has the winning roll for all your gaming needs. You can visit them at luckydicecafe.com or on their Facebook page using the link found in the description of this video. Mr. Clicksflix is also brought to you by trollandtoad.com, one of the largest online gaming retailers. Use the promo code Mr. Clicksflix for 5% off your Heroclix order today. Alright guys, today we are taking a look at the watch list for Q4 2019, fourth quarter, so end of the year. We haven't had a watch list in quite some time, so I was kind of surprised to see it. However, the 4 figures that are on it, I wasn't entirely surprised. So we're going to go ahead and dive into what I think the problem is that they're looking at. Some of them I know the problem, but we'll discuss that. And then what I think either the solution is or non-solution to it. So for those of you that don't know what the watch list is for Heroclix, basically what it is, they take a look at some problem figures or figures that people have been complaining about, or game elements or mechanics or things like that, and they put them on a watch list. They take a closer look at them supposedly, and then they come back with either an action or a non-action to make a change to the figure or the game element to make it less oppressive as a thing to do. So this has been used. The first figure it was done with was, or the first time it was done was actually Spiral in Wolverine and the X-Men Heroclix set, and I think in that same errata was also the team bases to tone those down a little bit too. So that's how old this is. This is about 5 years old, 6 years old that they've been doing this. So let's go ahead and take a look at the figures in question, and again I'll tell you what I think the problem is and how to fix it or not fix it. So here we are. This is the Wizkids official webpage. It's talking about what's on here. So the 4 figures in question, and it can be more or less, they just figured out on themselves. So the first one is the Gardener from Avengers Black Panther, Traitor from Avengers Black Panther, Vulture Prime from Earth X, and Proteus from X-Men Dark Phoenix Saga, the green one, number 14. So, going down the list, what I believe that they believe the problem is with Gardener. They're probably looking at what he does with the ring that creates hindering markers, because what they're doing is people are moving him up basically his full movement, placing a hindering marker because it doesn't specify at the beginning of your turn, and then making a close attack. So using him in a way that probably wasn't intended by game design in an alpha strikey sort of manner. Now, granted, I think it's pretty cool, but apparently they think it's probably something that's going to end up being problematic, either with mechanic in the future or something right now. So then there's also Traitor. And what people are doing with him is they're using him and Kobik together, trading off the Kobik Cube to double token to make it essentially so that if you're playing 300-point Modern, you cannot play a one-man army. I figure that that's probably what they're saying is the problem. I can't really think of another thing that people are trading on and off. I believe with the multiple traders, people are getting into some shenanigans, but I haven't heard enough about that to think that would even be on their radar. The other thing on here is Vulture Prime. So basically what people are doing is they're running him with the Doc Ock arms from Lady Doc Ock from the same set, and they're basically storing up charges where he can charge, flurry, make 2 attacks if he killed somebody with the first one, which he's very likely to do because people are perplexing him up to a 6 damage with, I believe, a 14 attack. KOs something again with the second flurry, and then he has 2 charges saved up from that 1 attack. I think that's what they're figuring is probably the problem. And then the other one is Proteus, and this is the green version that can make the free terrain markers, various ones, but obviously people are picking blocking, and they are not happy, I don't think, with the amount of blocking terrain that can be made. It can get insane in a game, especially in battle royales. I had one in a couple battle royales, and it just got crazy. So you guys let me know in the comments below before I tell you what I think the fixes are going to be. Let me know in the comments below. So take a second, put in the comments below what you believe the erratas or non-erratas are going to be for each of these game elements, because I want to see that, and we're going to get a conversation going, because right now nobody's right or wrong on this. It's just us conjecturing, having a little bit of fun talking about Heroclix. So Gardener, as far as I know, what they're probably going to say is that it's his hindering terrain markers that he places himself are beginning of the turn. So I think they're either A, going to say that it has to be from the marker that he placed at the beginning of his turn, or say that it, markers can't be generated in other ways. They'll put a little thing that says this is the only way he can generate smoke cloud or hindering terrain. So it's either going to be he has to make his free attack at the beginning of the turn, or he has to attack only using the hindering markers that he makes. I'm not quite sure how you'd keep track of only the hindering markers that he makes, but or they maybe say that he can only make that attack if it wasn't moved or placed this turn yet. That could be another thing that they're looking at doing too, is that he can only do that if he hasn't been moved or placed. And that would pretty much, that would keep the intent of the figure, which is to make it so he can do some cool ranged close attacks, while also making it so people can't use him in an aggressive fashion like they have been. If there's another way that people have been using them, let me know in the comments below, because I'd like to know about that. But that is, as far as I know, the Gardener trick. So next up we have Trader. They're probably going to do one of a couple things with him. They're either going to say that he's unique. I could see people doing that, since people are running like multiple traders, like 2 traders on a team. I could see them making him unique. And also that maybe it's just infinity gems, going back and errating his power where it can only be infinity gems and not like the Kovic cube, so to speak. So they could do one of those, they could do both of those. I'm not sure which one or if both are needed. Then again, this is probably the one the most where I was like, I don't think he really needs errated. I think this is probably the least egregious thing on here. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if Gardener just was left alone either. Sometimes they just throw things up to say, hey, we're not just spotlighting this one figure, even though I'm pretty sure that they're just going to do something to one of the figures that's on here. So the other one is Vulture. And what people are upset about is the banking of charges and attacks. So what I believe, if they're going to do anything, is it's probably going to be that he only gets one charge per, or one extra charge per charge he used. So if he charges and hits with a flurry, he only gets to activate charge again without activating flurry. Like maybe they'll say he can use charge but not other movement powers or something like that. I could see that. May use charge a second time but not any other movement power. That would kind of hurt him, where he wouldn't be able to sprinkle in his special sidestep to try to get more places, but I could see that as being an easy get around for the flurry shenanigans of storing things up. He would still be really good if he did that. You're looking at somebody that can move with a 14 attack for 6 damage and still take out a whole team. It's just that he's not going to be able to miss half your team and still KO it because he has flurry. So if they're going to make any change to him, I believe that's it. Now the last one is Proteus, and I'm pretty sure this is the one that's going to get the hammer brought down on it. So a couple things that are going to be done. I believe they're probably going to limit the number of markers he can generate in a turn. Like they'll say max 5, because you clear at the beginning of your turn. So it'll be like, generate a marker for each action, max 5. That could be something good. They could also make these Proteuses unique, because people are running more than one. And that's pretty much the egregious point of this, is that people are able to run more than one and they're able to get out a ton of markers. So I believe it would either be max, some number. I'm just picking 5. It could be 4. I really don't think it's going to be less than 2 if they do it that way. I think that's silly. But yeah, so you guys let me know in the comments below what you think the erratas are going to be to these 4 figures. Always like reading that stuff. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, give it a share. It really helps keep me motivated to make these videos, and it lets YouTube know that other people might like them. That's all I have for you today. As always, please remember this on critical miss if you don't have probability control.